video, I've decided to do my project on tidal power. So everybody knows that climate change is one of the main issues that's affecting society today, and one of the ways to combat this is with renewable energy. One of the main sources being solar, wind, and hydropower, but I believe that there are some smaller sources, such as tidal power, that have not been researched that much, but could be at the forefront of renewable energy given more time. So, two things to consider when discussing renewable energy is cost and efficiency. We want to make sure that a renewable source is similar in price to fossil fuels, so corporations will make that switch, and that it can supply the energy that cities and homes need in order to thrive. So, tidal power. What is tidal power? It's basically energy that is harnessed from the rise and fall of the ocean's tides. It's a renewable source, so no CO2 emissions, and most coastlines can implement some sort of tidal power. Basically, it works like a dam. So the movement of water from the ocean or a current will spin a turbine. The turbine's then connected to a generator, and it will convert the mechanical energy into electricity. There's three types of tidal energy: barrages, fences, and turbines. A barrage kind of works like a dam where there's two areas of higher and lower energy. And then fences and turbines work like wind turbines where the current and water is spinning and putting energy into a generator. This is kind of how it works in an infographic. So basically the water is moving and you'll see how it's being converted and then connecting into the grid. So some pros of tidal energy is it's clean, there's no CO2 emissions, it's pretty reliable, it doesn't depend on seasons, it doesn't depend on daytime, so like sunlight or wind. It's pretty high potential, meaning water's a lot heavier than air, so a water turbine will produce more energy than a wind turbine. And it doesn't need much upkeep, so once you implement these turbines, it kind of just stays there and produces energy with the ocean. Some cons is that it requires a certain amount of tidal movement in order to actually produce energy, so there's a limited number of sites that they can be implemented. We also don't know the ecosystem impacts that these will have because there's not much research being done on them. It's also pretty expensive as of now, again, because not much research, but I think that once we look at more cost-effective ways to implement tidal energy, it could be a great solution. This is kind of an infographic or a chart of like the renewable energy that is being used today. See, tidal power is a pretty small wedge in there, but it could grow. So currently there's a tidal plant in France. It's the first one ever built and it powers 130,000 homes. There's also the biggest tidal plant in South Korea, and it's also being used for flood mitigation. So the future of tidal is pretty strong. It's estimated about 1 terawatt of energy can be harnessed from the world's oceans. If we can find a way to mitigate costs of implementation and also find more areas to harness energy, then I think it could be a promising source. That's pretty much it on tidal power. If you would like to learn more, here's some links that I added. But yeah, thank you.